Hello YouTube, and welcome back to Multi-Tool School. This is part 2 of how to choose a multi-tool. Now in part 1 we established a scenario where someone looking for to choose a multi-tool had decided they were going to have full-size multi-tool with pliers, and we discussed making a choice between traditional pliers, kind of like this, that are stowed away inside, and non-traditional pliers, perhaps like this one. And then in addition to traditional versus non-traditional pliers, we talked about locking blades, where you have the blade that solidly locks into place and you have to release it. So today we're going to talk about 3 more issues concerning blades. And the first one that I want to talk about is the position of the blade. Now, a common multi-tool such as this Leatherman Charge, the blade deploys into a position like this, where the blade, the cutting edge of the blade, is right along the bottom of the handle of the multi-tool. And this is a common position for a blade. Here's the Super Tool 300, and you deploy the blade and see what the difference is. On blades like that, the cutting edge of the blade is not in alignment with the bottom of the multi-tool. And what this does is, when you're using this style of blade with the cutting edge down here, you have access to the entire blade for cutting. But when you're using this style, you don't have access to the entire blade because this is in the way. So you're losing about this much cutting area in some applications, not all the time, but it might be something that you want to consider. Now there's 2 of the Leatherman products. Let's take a look at a Gerber. This is the knife blade on this particular style of Gerber, and again you've got this knife blade where the cutting edge is up here, and you may not be able to use part of this cutting edge because of this. There. So that's our topic number 1 for today, is blade position. Now another consideration, in addition to blade position, is this. The blade on this CRKT Zilla tool is an example of what I refer to as a combo blade, meaning that it's a combination of a serrated blade and a plain edge blade. Now you're going to see these on more and more knives and multi-tools these days. The combo blade, I guess, is an effort to put both of these types of blades into one blade so that you're covered in different situations. Here's another of the Gerbers, and when you deploy the blade on this one, you get a combo blade. I used to like the combo blade, but just my own opinion these days, I don't care for it very much anymore. For me personally, it is difficult to sharpen, and so anyway, when you're looking to choose a multi-tool, you might want to put this on your list, whether to get a combo blade or just a standard plain edge blade. Or you can use a multi-tool, again similar to this Leatherman Charge, that comes with the plain edge and a separate serrated blade. You get one of each. I prefer that style, just me. Okay, a third area that you might consider looking into, which I think this might be one of the bigger considerations maybe, is how easy or difficult is it to deploy the knife blade. As an example, Leatherman Skeletool. You've got the knife blade right here with this easy to use thumb opening, and so with one hand you can deploy that blade. Also, similar to that, the Wave, the Charge, the Surge, those types of multi-tools, it just takes one hand, thumb, and you've deployed the blade in about one step. Now, this CRKT has a pretty nice deal here. Here's a little lever that you can use to deploy the knife blade, and if you practice with it a little bit and get a little bit of wrist action going there, you can open it just that easy. So again, you're looking at one step to get that knife blade deployed one-handed. Now here's another example. This is the Victorinox Swiss tool. Now, the tools are on the outside, even though you wouldn't know it by first looking. A little bit different than a Leatherman Charge, where you can clearly see that the knife blade's available on the outside. Well, the knife blade's available on the outside, but as far as getting to it with one hand, I don't really see a way of doing that myself. You're probably gonna need two hands, and then you're gonna need to dig around with a fingernail a little bit, and then you get that knife blade out. And so I'm gonna say that there's probably two steps involved. Some of these tools you had one step. This one you probably have at least two steps to get that knife blade going. Now, the Super Tool 300, you're going to have to open the handle and deploy the knife blade and close the handle. So you're kind of looking at, you might say, 3 steps to deploy that blade. And now let's try this. Again, this is a earlier model of a Gerber. I think it's still a popular design. You're going to have to, you can't open the handles until you deploy the pliers. So there's step number 1. And then you're going to open the handles. That's step number 2. And then you're going to, that's the serrated blade. You're going to pull out that knife blade. If you get some tools sticking together, you might have to hold them down, get the blade deployed. That's step number 3. Step number 4 is to close the handles, and step number 5 is to slide the pliers back in. So if I was counting correctly, it could be as many as 5 steps to deploy the knife blade, again, as to opposed to 1. So that might be something to consider. At this point in time, we've got a list of about 7 items, whether or not you want full-size pliers, a full-size multi-tool, whether or not you want pliers, whether you are interested in a traditional multi-tool or a non-traditional multi-tool, whether or not you feel like you need a locking blade for safety, and the blade position, and how much of this cutting area you're going to be able to use. And then finally, or not finally, but whether or not you want a combo blade or a plain edge ordinary blade. And then finally, how easy or how difficult is it to deploy the knife blade? How many steps do you have to go to deploy the knife blade? Now, as far as I'm concerned, the reason for creating the list is so that you can prioritize that list based on your needs or your preferences. And it may be that the blade position might be of importance to you, and so you might move that higher up the list. Whereas whether or not the multi-tool has a blade with a combo edge, it's not that important. That it doesn't. You're not too interested in that particular issue, so you might possibly move that towards the bottom of your list because it's just not as big a priority for you. Maybe whether or not the multi-tool has a locking blade. Maybe that's high on your list, and so you may move that to the top or near the top of the list. So you get the idea. That's kind of what we're talking about here. Now, next time, we're going to start looking at the accessories, such as bit drivers and other accessories on multi-tools. Here's some bits and the bit driver, and there's lots of nice accessories. You've got files, you've got saws. So in part 3, we'll be taking a look at some of those topics. Well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.